أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونستعينه ونتوكل عليه إنه خير ناصر ومعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه وأشرف أنبيائه ورسله بالقاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين وأصحابه الخيرة المنتجبين. Islamic Philosophy Course is the subject, and this is the third lecture in this series focusing on Islamic philosophy, and the topic of our discussion today is the logical reason to need a religion. Why we as human beings, we need to ever follow a religion. Is there any logic or rationale for it? The whole idea is coming because we as human beings, we have ability of thinking, and intellectually we are capable. We are able to think, we are able to write, we are able to read, we are able to digest, and intellectually we are equipped with a tool of differentiating between wrong and right. So if we have that intellect and we can go to universities, we can get a degree, we can become presidents, we can become MPs, we can go to the parliament and write a constitution, create laws, and run the country based on those laws, why we need now God to come and tell us what to do? That's the question. Because when you discuss with an atheist, you will definitely face such questions. So it says if we are capable and we are wise and we have wisdom, we don't need God. That is the whole question. So what is the logic behind having a religion? The reason for having a religion is that yes, we are capable. Yes, intellectually we are able. Yes, we have intelligence. Yes, we have wisdom. Yes, we can go to university. All of this knowledge is good. Knowledge is very useful. Knowledge helps, but there are problems with the same knowledge itself. The same knowledge that is going to help you, the same wisdom that you have, sometimes it is problematic. Sometimes the same tools that you have available is let you down. It is letting you down. So what is wrong with knowledge and wisdom and all of that? Logic is good, but have got so many problems. There are so many hiccups that we have to understand. The first issue concerning knowledge is limited. Whatever we know at the moment with the advancement of science and technology and everything that we have today, the capacity, whatever knowledge that we have, compared to what we still don't know when it comes to the mechanism of the universe, when it comes to chemical and physical aspects of this universe, how big it is, where is the end of the universe, how it started, how it's going to end. All of these things we have no knowledge. Science are unable, technology and knowledge are unable to tell us about billions of questions. So what we know compared to what we don't know is a drop compared to an ocean. And amazingly, as much as we go further, more questions are raised, more questions are produced that still human being has to answer. There is a great scientist, which is Avicenna. In the last days of his life, he was asked, "What you know? Tell us about what you know." He pounded upon the question, and after a while of thinking, he came and he said, "I just know that I don't know." Abu Rayhan Biruni, who wrote about 720 books over 800 years ago. Abu Rayhan Biruni, one of the giant scientists of the history of Islam. This man, when he was asked that, okay, what you know, his answer is also interesting. He said, if the whole men of the world become writers, and all waters of the seas, the 7 seas, become ink, and for them to come and all of them start writing, and I have enough time to raise questions, I will raise so many questions that all of them are unable to record. And the questions are not going to be ended up. This is how much we don't know. So what we know compared to what we don't know, when it comes to things that are going to be discoverable by the 5 senses that you have, even when it comes to those which is discoverable by the 5 senses that you have, even when it comes to them, your knowledge is limited. What about the second problem which we have with knowledge? Knowledge is limited to physical and chemical and seenable things, experienceable things. Yeah? Things that you can see and have, the 5 senses, can touch them, can see, can smell, can taste, the 5 senses that we have. What about things which are there, but you can't see? At the moment, one of the big puzzles for the whole scientists of the world is something which is called black matter, which 98% of the universe is made of that. But they know that it is, but they can't discover it. They can't test it. They can't feel it. They can't see it. And 98% of all the universe is made of this. But they can't find it. Trace of that is not there. It's not experienceable. There are a lot of things which are unseen. They are not physical. They are metaphysical things in the world. How can you digest a dream? How can you put a dream under the microscope? And some of these dreams are true. Somebody had a dream about somebody else, and it comes true later on. We have even people who died, and they say to one member of the family that, okay, I owe so much money to this person, go there and pay. And when they go there, it says exactly the same amount they owe. A lot of metaphysical experiences happening in this world that you can't test them, you can't digest them, you can't put them under the microscope, you can't take it to a laboratory. 5 senses doesn't have access to some unseen metaphysical world. So knowledge is only limited to what? To physical, the metaphysical things which are even physical and it's not discoverable yet. You don't have access. So there's a second problem with knowledge. The third problem with knowledge is very good, but knowledge is late. Knowledge is late. In other words, knowledge is going to help you finally, but it may take a lot of time. 14th century ago, a prophet came and he said, God says, don't eat pork. God said, don't drink wine. And it took 14th century for scientists to come to conclusion that what he said 14th century ago was right. That alcohol has got these problems. Yeah? If you were going to lean in science and technology and knowledge, you were going to say to the scientist, hey, go to hell. Unless the microscope is not there, that it can produce for me reasons that this alcohol which I'm consuming is harmful for my life, I'm not going to stop it. So you're going to suffer for 14th century until you come to the conclusion, until technology is so advanced to now tell you that what the prophet said 14th century ago was right. Yes, knowledge is very good, but it can be late. At the moment, we don't have answer for so many diseases, for so many problems. Knowledge may come to conclusion like 20 years later, 30 years later, 50 years later, maybe another century, maybe another 10 decades. We don't know. So, knowledge is good. But sometimes that knowledge is going to be very late. You already did. Knowledge came later. You had so much alcohol, you have so much cigarette that you already destroyed your lung and you are dead. Knowledge is too late to help you. So this is the three problem. What is the fourth problem with knowledge? Knowledge is not always neutral. Or knowledgeable people, not always neutral, I can say. A lot of the problems that we have today in our societies, in our communities, global problems that we have, it's all because of ignorant people or because of knowledgeable people. Wars which is happening, is it just two tribes of fighting out of ignorance? Come on. Logical wars are planned. Wars are processed. Wars are programmed. Yeah? There are people with university degrees, people with knowledge, academic minds comes together and they think about where and when and how to create a war, how they should create a disease like COVID-19. Why we should create this, how we should create this, when we should create this, where we should, all of this is planned. Why they should create war? Because they should sell arms. And if there is no war, they can't create, they can't have what you call weapon industries. I was watching a documentary concerning how wars are created. It's an interesting one. There is a meeting in White House after Bush becoming the president. So these people who has come to visit the president, they actually asking questions. They have a dialogue with the president of United States. He says, okay, what can I do for you? They say, their spokesperson says, we are weapon producing companies. We are the most highly tax-paying companies in United States. Your government run based our own tax. We all paid our taxes in the last 4 or 5 years, but our warehouses are full of weapons. In the last 4 years, we didn't manage to sell any tank, any missile, any aeroplane, and it's all stuck there. So he says, so what can I do for you? Another person stands up and says, Mr. President, create war. It's so simple. Okay. And the next scene, it's Pentagon, and the map of the world is there, and they are talking, okay, Europe, they are also producing, they have got the same problem. They are looking for customers. Leave them, they are not paying for it. They are sellers. China, no. They won't buy from us. They are developing their own missiles. Russia, no. You can't sell to Russia because they copy your reality. Africa, they don't have money. So wait, wow. Middle East, all monies are here. They are rich, oil-rich companies, oil-rich nations. They have the money. Okay, the next plan is the map of Middle East. Which country has got a problem with which country? Qatar and Saudi. Okay, good. Palestine. Oh, we must put something next to the Palestine. Call it Israel. Let them have always conflict in supply. Iran, the big problem there. Go to Saudi, go to Saudi. They say this Iran is dangerous. You don't want to buy missile. Now Trump is going out there to milk the cows. Okay? So this is planned, my friend. Okay? I am sure 100% when Mr. Trump goes there, says Iran is there. You need your defense system to be strong. How many airplanes you want? How many missiles you want? And in one day he can make 200, 400, 500, 600 billion. You know what is meaning of billion? You have no idea. If I give you $1 million and tell you spend every day 1,000, how many years it will take for you to finish? 3.5 years. If you spend every day $1,000, $1 million, you finish it in 3.5 years. But if I give you $1 billion and tell you spend every day 1,000, do you know how many years? 3.5 centuries it takes for you to finish. And he is going to sell 600 billion. Okay? It's planned, my brother. Wars are planned. Every single war is planned one. They want to sell weapons. They want to sell weapons. So, knowledge is good. But knowledgeable people, what we should do with them? Not always knowledgeable people are saving mankind. They use their knowledge to create weapons of mass destruction. They use their knowledge to create bombs which can kill 2 million people in 1 second in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They use their knowledge to design bombs which can destroy a hospital in Gaza and kill 500 people. Yeah? They can create weapons which if you just receive one bullet in your body, the whole body is going to be evaporate. That's what's happening today in Gaza. They can create chemical weapons that Saddam Hussein used in Shalamcha, and 5,000 people died in 2 seconds. They were frozen to death. There is a lot of... The knowledge is good, but sometimes knowledgeable people are abusing the knowledge. So we have to really... can we trust such a knowledge? Or can we trust such knowledgeable people? Of course not. Yes, knowledge is good, but has got these problems. Now that we have these 4 problems with knowledge, yeah? So, still we can say that we don't need God to tell us? No, definitely we need somebody who first doesn't have no interest, has no interest in this whole universe. In other words, he is not interested in occupying a land. He is not interested to oppress a nation. He is not. It doesn't give him a higher kingdom, or doesn't reduce his kingdom if a place is conquered or not. If not only a piece of land, but if the whole earth is not there, he's still God. Just imagine the whole universe is not there, he's still God. If this universe is double, still he's God. If this place is occupied, he's still God. So occupation of a piece of land doesn't give him interest. Creating war doesn't give him interest. He doesn't need to create a disease to make money. So you need somebody first who does not have no interest in your, what you call, in your money or your wealth or your territory or this, for him to be an oppressor and abuse his knowledge. Because every single knowledgeable person is capable of abusing his knowledge. Doctors are creating wrong disease. War weapon producing companies are creating war. Political parties are telling lies to people to get to the power. And as soon as they get to the power, they forget about you. Go, next 4 years later on, you'll see them back again to the streets. For the sake of their personal interest, their family interest, their party interest, they can do any oppression. So we need somebody who doesn't have a party, who doesn't need money, who doesn't need power, who does not have no reason to be an oppressor, to show you a wrong way or to direct you to a wrong direction or to write for you a wrong institution, or what you call constitution. So first of all, we need a knowledgeable person who does not have no interest in your life. Second thing, We need somebody whose knowledge is not limited. I only know what I know. But we need somebody who knows your past, who knows your now, and who knows your future. And who else, if not religion, if not God, if not revelation? We need someone whose knowledge is not limited only to physical aspects of life, but he knows the unseen world also. And he tells you, he will digest, even he knows your wrong actions or your positive actions in this world, what negative or positive reactions or results will have for the hereafter. We need a God which is not going to have limited knowledge in any sense, and is not going to abuse his knowledge. And that's why religion comes. That's why we need God. God, if he tells you don't do this, you may not know the philosophy behind, but it's in your interest, because he knows what is the negative aspect of this. If you consume it, if you use it, you may come to that conclusion 14th century later. And that's why all constitutions of the world has been subject to change. Show me one constitution in the world which has not been changed before. Every constitution. Maybe the oldest one is United States Constitution. I think 5 times this constitution has been changed since it has been started. Every generation needs new things. Yes, a lot of new issues comes for them to change the constitution. And the Iran constitution changed once, at least in the last 45 years. Because practically when you go further, you will realize there is a problem with my constitution. I need to change this, I need to change that. For 300 years in South Africa, there was a constitution which didn't recognize black people in South Africa as even human beings to have right of vote. But then what happened? Has to be changed. For thousands of years in the world, there was constitution which they didn't consider women to be a human being. Right of vote for women has been given like 70, 60, 80 years ago. Before that, in any of the countries of the world, women did not have right to vote. It changed. While Quran has given the right to vote for the women when 14th century ago, recognized women as an effective member of society when 14th century ago. So, in a nutshell, my brothers, we cannot trust something which is limited to physical things. We cannot trust a religion which is not based on true epistemology, and we cannot trust someone which does have interest in the life of human being. God has no interest in your life, and he doesn't get a better God if you if you worship him. He's not going to be a worse or lesser God if you don't worship him. He does not have no interest in our life, and his knowledge is not limited. So we need issues. We need God who will tell us about things which knowledge cannot even digest. Another problem with knowledge, which I didn't manage to speak about it, but it's just in the last minute, I'll tell you that knowledge, there are things which are digestible beyond knowledge. There are a lot of things which is, knowledge can digest, but there are a lot of things that knowledge is too early for them to be digested. But God knows about all of these things. He can tell you. He knows about your past, your present, and your future. And when He gives you instruction, that instruction is final. So simple. Last word. This phone is made by Samsung. So if you want to know how to operate, go to Samsung, the creator of this. He will give you a catalog how to use it the best way. Human being also is made not by himself for you to write a constitution for yourself. This phone cannot do that. So you need the creator of you, because he knows the mechanism of you better than anybody else. The whole problems that we have in the world is human being is made by God, but you have been asking Shaitan to tell you the catalog and the brochure how to use. The manual of using this human being in the best way is written by God, and that constitutes religion. And if you use it in the best way, the same way that the Creator has told you, then you are always in the right path. Otherwise, you are going to be failing yourself. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to follow these discussions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.